TOMz.
Oleni TOMzers, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of the best science and technology show on TV, brought to you by SABC Education. Konala ku SABC 1 umzansi for show. Mina igama usiya.
Kwaya mna ndingubonga isipho nami liyazibukisela lixesha ngoku to get our hands dirty again ngoba namhlanje we are getting closer to our roots. I-roots ke ezithi zenze izinto zikhule. Ngithanda nezinto ezifana nezifuno ezibona ezigama.
Qiniseka kakhulu namhlanje ke we are learning all about one of the most important industries alana emhlabeni and some of the science behind it. Ngikhuluma ngani? Ngikhuluma nge-agriculture.
Agriculture later covers a wide range of produce from inyama to iziqhamo and vegetables to some even stranger things like worms, which we'll find out more about later up in Kubit.
Now people actually farm worms. But there are some very good reasons why worms are an important part of our ecosystem.
Now I'm really looking forward to finding out about
Get it?
Okay.
Coming up on TOMz, we get to the bottom of all the different types of farming here in Mzansi. We meet a pilot-turned-farmer who's made a huge success of scientific farming using hydroponics. We found out more about farming worms and just why creepy crawlies are an important part of what makes things grow. And in Clockwise, we all learn about the history of farming.
Where's going up that South Africa is one of the biggest producers of maize and sabeni. Now maize is one of the most important food products up by Africa. Why it is an affordable way that millions of people banokwazi ukudla.
Sesinaga senapha emgaqweni sothola kabanzi ukuthi nina lapha ekhaya nicabangani nge-farming la eMzansi.
Ngifuna ukuyana what kind of farmings are there la emhlabeni?
Yeah, fishing, okay. Cattle farming, and also sheep farming when they take all the wool.
I'm a products about farmer, yippee products ongekho khona ukuphila without that one.
Maize. Mealie.
Why?
No, but you always see it everywhere, whether it's farms. Without it, I mean, rice, it's way too expensive, you know. So if maize was to be like cancelled out, and I don't think many people will be able to survive because maize, it's the most thing abantu abayi-affordayo, to understand it.
South Africans are great farmers. We also have a landscape and climate that makes our environment perfect for farming many kinds of produce. And they say that South African meat is some of the best meat in the world.
Wow, now they say you are what you eat. And with our cows eating the sun-fed South African grass and growing naturally in the South African sun definitely makes a difference to the taste of the meat as it is here.
Now we also have the perfect climate for producing organic vegetables and other homegrown produce like maize.
South Africa is divided into a number of farming regions according to climate, natural vegetation, soil type, and farming practices. Now, agriculture ranges from intensive crop production and mixed farming in winter rainfall and high summer rainfall areas to cattle ranching in the bushveld and sheep farming in dry areas. Now, agriculture in South Africa contributes to about 10% of formal employment and also provides jobs for casual laborers. 13.5% of our land can be used for crop production. Now, South Africa is one of the world's largest producers of chicory roots, grapefruit, cereals, maize, castor oil seed, pears, and fiber crops. Now, dairy industry consists of around 4,300 milk producers of providing employment for 60,000 farm workers. Grains and cereals ngenye crops ezibalulekileyo zalapha eMzansi, occupying more than 60% of cultivated land in the country. Quite a lot of science goes into growing produce like hydroponics.
Now, hydroponics is a method of growing plants using mineral nutrient solutions in water without soil. That's right, without soil. Sasa khuluma with the farmer who uses this method, which is Toleka Bantu. Check it out.
We are on the next mission, touchdown Winterfeld to Tolagabanzi. What is hydroponic? We've got a young farmer okhulisa ama-cucumber ngayo. Niyazi ukuthi ngikhuluma ngani? Let's go, let's get it. How you doing?
All right, man.
Nice to meet you. Let's go. So what good job,
all right, man.
Welcome to TOMz.
Thank you.
So, Mjele, Sigupi. What is this? What happens here? What are we doing here?
Okay, Mole Mokorema Farms. We're a cucumber farm. We specialize in cucumber production using hydroponics.
So tell me, what is hydroponics?
Well, the word hydro means water. So resavisa means amangada to grow a lot of the cucumbers. The actual fact, the principle is resavisa means amangada analing fertilizer to a high dairy This day they've been harvested for a while and since they're real it's on. all the way. Center shapa ke sera menyana because Maria since ala haufi. In actual fact, actually because mawan nearly almost 4 degrees. So that's not very good for production yaron. Ka more talk about 12 to 13 degrees busiu temperature.
What's the difference between hydroponic farming and like normal farming?
The difference between hydroponic farming and organic farming, so to speak, more hydroponic farming this is water, a lot of water and medium warona. It's not the soil. The roots are or either be grown kahara. Wood shavings, or perlite or cocoa peat. So this is just a home fella for the roots the stable, and this absorbs a little bit of water. The wood shavings it's made from pine shavings, and this is not treated wood. So I say it's a because air compose after a while. So the difference between organic farming and hydroponics organic this is a muarona. We rely heavily on muarona. Unlike hydroponics, we use a lot of water and depend on more a different medium who house the roots. Now the cucumbers are from seed because are not straight from the seed. It's 49 days kaselemo. Marie had it 52 days. So after 52 days, Momari hang clever harvest our first fruit, and thereafter every second day harvest a cucumber. And we harvest for 3 months. After 3 months, the cucumber would have been touching the floor, and thereafter we take it out local cucumber and we start the whole cycle again and again.
So tell me about the tent. What does it do? What is it made of? What is the purpose of this tent?
Say, but these are the hydroponic tents. They come standard, 300 square meters. So there's about 600 plants. In trading special tent says that the plastic area very anally UV resistance. So if I can sell the production plant. So cucumber have because it goes all yellow. So that's the special part about the plastic, and they get only more expensive in actual fact. But the height, the tunnels also allows the amount of airflow because you rely a lot on natural ventilation. But the big reason why we plant the hydroponic tunnels is because of to control the temperature and the rain. Cucumber have a lot of rain. In actual fact, no rain at all, it would be very good for the crop. So those are the two big reasons why we choose to plant the tunnels.
So tell me, the plants are in here. Take out the cucumbers, put them in here. What happens after? From here, they'll go to the pack house. The box. They'll first be shrink wrapped. After the shrink wrap, and then repaga marama box. My box ala afarlo hanagadi size. So, medium, large, extra large, and but I pack in the different boxes. And from there, they will go to the client or listing for 2 days delivery.
It's science kayona iyonke indawo. Next time you go to the shops and pick up a cucumber or a tomato off the shelf, think about the science that went into growing it perfectly.
When we come back, we'll be finding out about farming some creepy crawlies, worms. Don't go anywhere. TOMz.
So yes, I'm getting with to another exciting TOMz show. We're teenagers on a mission there. Also, I put this money on local SABC 1. That's for sure, Lona. So is that right?
And some Nandona.
Right.
We are taking a look at the wonderful world of farming. So far, we've met an ex-pilot who has found the winning farming formula with hydroponic farming technology. Futhi, safuna kabanzi about all the types of farming alana emzansi. Futhi ke sangiphathele okuningi so ungayindawo.
And our farming really is the biggest source of food and also a massive source of work for abantu abaninzi apha emhlabeni. It literally is an industry that we can never live without. Now, we had a look at some high-tech hydroponic farming, technology, produce. But you mustn't forget that there are also important low-tech farming methods too, in a sign of fertilizer that are naturally produced.
Living organisms are an important part of what creates fertilizer and keeps things growing, like worms. Maybe worms are doing something that you really don't want to talk about. What you're getting to say, I see that any team member here to light your TOMz. Start to dig deeper with the about worm farming.
Agriculture. Wow, we just landed in Maplazini, so about worm tea. I don't know about it. You, me, let's go find out. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm excellent, thank you.
Welcome to TOMz. Okay, to our viewers who don't know you, can you please let them know who you are?
Hi, I'm Pat, and I have a little company that's called Urban Worm Farms, and I breed earthworms for the end product, which is the worm tea.
Can we please tell us what is worm farming?
Well, basically it's eco-friendly. They're earthworms. The kind of worms I have are red wrigglers. They sit and chomp away at whatever you feed them, which is the kitchen waste out of your kitchen. Not normally fresh veggies like this. Normally it would be the offcuts of your veggies. Paper, egg boxes, whatever, and they eat all that, and then the byproduct is the worm tea, which is then fantastic fertilizer.
Okay, cool. So what are we going to be doing now?
What we could do is chop up some veggies. Tea bags, you just break up and open that up. You just break them in like that. The egg box you tear up into small bits. So we're going to a little bit of water on the, just to moisten it a little bit.
So basically this is their food?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Food for worms.
That's their food for worms.
Okay, so tell me about the benefits of farming worms.
Basically, that you are saving the environment by using every bit of scrap out of your kitchen, really. The worm tea is fantastic to grow your veggies and what have you. So, you know, that is a way of having organic fertilizer rather than getting fertilizer that's chemical. So we've got to dig away because they hide under everything. Okay. There they are. Yeah. So you can see they are red colour and they breed like crazy, you know, so I breed them. I sell the worm farms with worms in them. Okay.
So how can worms help to grow other things like vegetable gardens?
They dig into the soil and they aerate the soil, so they do help that way as well. These particular worms are specifically really for the worm tea, which is the fertilizer that you use in your veggie garden.
Okay, so tell me, Pat, what happens to the vegetables in here?
All these vegetables will be eaten by these worms. You see, now that eggshell, it actually looks like they've laid some eggs in it.
Eggs in it?
They have two.
Eggs inside an eggshell?
Yeah.
So tell me, when farmers come here and they buy this, what do they do with it? They take it home and what happens?
They would buy...
Can I close this?
An empty worm, yes. An empty worm farm from me, which is this. Okay. Then I would sell it to them with worms, which I breed in there. So I'd take worms out and this bucket would be full of worms. What they do is take that and that home. When they get home, they fill up a third full of potting soil. Okay. So you put the worms in on top and you start feeding. And that's about it. Then they can start their own little worm farm at home. And the whole idea is really to end up with the product which is the worm tea.
But what does this do? What is this? Is this like tea that you drink?
No. This is worm pea.
Oh, okay.
And this is the fertilizer that the byproduct of the worm farm. If I actually sell this to people who are too lazy to do this,
the whole
they
process.
come, but they want the worm tea because they find it fantastic. So they come here and buy it from me. It propagates growth of veggies. You know, it's fantastic stuff. And that is what you get out of the bottom of these. Okay. I'll put it on the ground. And there is the worm tea from that worm farm. So we can tap it off.
There we go. Worm pea.
Worm tea.
So how long does it take for the worm pea to be ready? Worm tea?
Probably 6 weeks for the worms to settle in and start producing worm tea.
Okay, okay. So tell me, why did you choose worm farming?
I didn't know what to do with my kitchen scraps, and it's eco-friendly to do this. You know, you're using all your scraps and what have you. The worm tea used in your garden, that's also saving money and saving the environment. So I think it's all about doing our little bit to save the environment.
And it's a beautiful job.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy.
I think I'm going to start my own.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you should.
Using worms for composting turns waste into a natural fertilizer called worm poop or worm poop castings.
Worm fertilizer adds beneficial organisms, nutrients, minerals to the soil that keeps plant life healthy and growing.
The fertilizer then helps break down organic materials and convert nutrients into a more available form for plants.
Worm poop improves soil structure, texture, and aeration, as well as increasing water holding capacity in the soil so plants grow stronger and have deeper root systems for better drought tolerance and disease resistance.
All compost or fertilizer is really recycled organic waste. The average home generates a lot of compostable materials each year, like amafruit abolile noma amaveg abolile lawo siwalahlayo.
Quite a huge percentage of what we put into landfills is actually organic waste. Then there's fine food scraps, implant trimmings, namaphepha, and so much of it could be recycled by composting.
Composting saves money on transportation and disposing of waste when organic materials are eliminated from the collection system.
Why again, it also improves soil, adds important nutrients for plants, fruits, and vegetables, and reduces the need for expensive commercial fertilizers.
Wow.
Coming up, we go back in time and clockwise to find out about the history of agriculture. We check out some amazing online content in cyberspace, and we get some awesome career advice. We'll be back. TOMz. TOMz.
TOMz, SABC 1. Mzansi for sure, if not SABC Education, then who?
We are all excited about learning what farming is exciting and how it is important to us, because without farms, we wouldn't have access to the food that we eat every day. Today, we have so much amazing technology available that has brought farming into the 21st century, and we take it for granted that sometimes we're available for butcheries and green grocers.
Farming has actually been developing over thousands of years. Every year, new technology is invented that makes it easier. Let's go clockwise and find out more about how it all began. Farming began around 10,000 BC during the first agricultural revolution, where nomadic tribes began to farm. Fruit farming began sometime between 6,000 and 3,000 BC. Figs were one of the first cultivated fruit crops. Plows were invented in the Middle East soon after agriculture began. The earliest plow, called an ard, was probably made from sharpened tree branches. The plow was one of the most important inventions in the advancement of society. The Industrial Revolution led to faster and more efficient farming technology, which led to the Second Agricultural Revolution from 1700 to 1900 in developed countries. The Third Agricultural Revolution, or the Green Revolution, came about in the late 20th century as population and the need for food grew.
So we have been farming the land for thousands of years, and farming technology has kept growing, and it still is today, with inventions like hydroponics, earlier, making a big impact on how we create and consume food sources.
Back in the days, there were no shops. So I was in a shop where you section your vegetables or inyama. People had to hunt or farm.
Life back then. No traffic jams, no big city problems, just living off the land. Future is patheleni. Now we pass cyberspace.
If you like to brush up on my skills with farming, then you have to check out the Farming Instructor app on the Google Play. It's a mobile app that provides online and offline agriculture information to inspire you to produce great fresh produce and to get it right. And if you want to get started with your own mini farm kaya in your small garden, then you have to check out the Gardening Manager Planet Alarm app, a great tool app that allows you to monitor your plants and vegetable garden with various gardening alarms and to keep track of the growing process and share it on Facebook and on Twitter and even on Instagram. And if you're a hardcore wannabe farmer and you're passionate about having a farm, create a farm at Virtual Farm on www.thirdworldfarmer.com, an online farmer simulator that puts your farming skills to the test so you can really see if you have what it takes to become a farmer. I've tried it.
You'd like a trial run as a farmer. Try farming online first and build up his skills. Uzabona that it actually takes a lot of skill and dedication.
Farmers work very hard and they have to be very knowledgeable about the work they are doing. They need to be able to take into account factors like the climate they work in, soil quality and other natural conditions, and they have to have a head for business at the same time.
Farming is a career that involves the production of all kinds of animals, crops and fruit and vegetables which feed the population. It's a career that mixes agricultural science and business, and it's a great way of becoming independent. Formal training in agriculture is available on 4 different levels: schools, agricultural colleges, universities of technology and universities. Some high schools offer agriculture as a formal subject. There are also special agricultural schools where students take 1 or more agricultural subjects. To find out more about your options, visit www.arc.agric.za.
So think about it, farming is an exciting and useful job, and there are so many different avenues in the industry you can pursue as a career.
Without farmers, shops empty. And millions of abantu would not have imisebenzi. Farmers ke ngabanye babantu ababaleke ukufa.
Asiboneni abavakashi bethu namhlanje ukuthi sithola some career advice from them ukuthi ubone ukuthi kahle kahle umsebenzi wabe amazing kangaka bawenza kanjani.
So if you're interested in agriculture, to be specific, hydroponics farming, so ntsubele rato la dijalo, ubele matsoho, uskatsaba obereka because there's a lot of work involved. But lo na gona dikolo tse di ka rutang hydroponics sa mathomo ke Agriculture Research Council ke bona ba ka rutang the basics tsa hydroponics. But lo na wena tshwantse the passion ya go start business le gona la itse business he le thoma e ba buima mara ho ntse o ya e ba easier as you grow.
Let's go.
Oh, yes, my first is my social sessions where to last khuluma nawe lapha ekhaya sithi uvo lwa continue throughout this whole entire time. Siyazi ukuthi wena uyifan ye TOMz namhlanje sifuna ukukhuluma nawe ku Facebook, ku Twitter, sikhona na ku Instagram. Namhlanje siphethe ba
Facebook sothi sithule eqoqweni uthi ke na ke loving science, which makes me love the show more and more and more. Wish it could play forever. What's it? #TOMz_fan. That should be a hashtag.
Oh, that would be really cool, hey? Owesibili ke siphethe uKhosi Makhosazana athi wow, I love the show guys. You guys rock. Now lapho yakhaya roka. Ngobukela TOMz njalo ngomsobulungu nangolebili. Bewufuna ukufana nabo ke bengenze njani?
Sikhona Facebook bethunani TOMz, ku Twitter singu @TOMz_SABC_1. Kwaye kaloku na ku Instagram sikhona @TOMzTV_SABC1. Keep tweeting. Indlela sethu ke siphele bethunani for namhlanje. Sithomi zethu, we hope you're feeling motivated, inspired kwaye udinga a bit more about how awesome farming can actually be.
Uqhubeke ngokukhuluma nathi ku Facebook na ku Twitter wethu, and ungakhohlwa ukuvakashela iwebsite yethu ye TOMz uma ufuna ulwazi olujulile.
Sifike nibuye apha for inkqubo yethu elandelayo ye TOMz ngensimbi yesine nqa enhloko till then mzansi sithi goodbye. Coming up next on TOMz, we get up close and personal with Mother Earth when we learn more about the land that we walk on. We see how crazy cool artists can turn a natural material into a masterpiece. We find out how pieces of earth can be used to straighten hair. And we find out how different types of rocks are formed. Ungaphosa kwena ke uTOMz qho ngemivulo nangolwesibini ngensimbi yesine ngqo enhloko apha ku SABC1 Mzansi.